fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance, Navionics, Okuma, Yozori, Evinrude, and the Star Island Yacht Club Shark Tournament. There's a lot to report this week, but I want to remind you that the June edition of the Fisherman is on newsstands now. Remember, when you subscribe to the Fisherman, you're eligible for the Dream Boat Fishing Contest. Now let's check in with News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Olin.
Hey anglers, meteorologist Rich Von Olin here at News 12 Long Island Weather Center. Let's check the weather for the weekend and see what we got going on. All right, gonna go to the weather computer here. We got some cool stuff to show you. Water temperatures there across the island, and yeah, mostly 60s now, starting to warm up a little bit. We got some 50s there, eastern end, Peconic Bay, the Gut, out to Montauk Point, Block Island, and wave height Saturday. You know, it's okay. The sound's good. The ocean may be a question here. I'm never a fan of this northeast to easterly breeze. I think a 2 to 4 foot roll, maybe a little bit of a chop, depending on how the intensity of the wind is. Some of the arrows, when they turn yellow, that's over 10, 15 knots. So it might not be perfect, maybe fishable. And going into Sunday as well. Again, maybe we hold on to a southeast easterly breeze. But never a fan of this high pressure when it's over Cape Cod there. Causes the gradient to be more from the east. And again, the weekend may not be too perfect, but keep our fingers crossed. Maybe these winds drop off a bit. And if they do, we'll be in better shape. But the rain should hold off. Weather should be good. The bay should be fine. The sound should be fine. And overall, the weekend shouldn't be too terrible. Enjoy your weekend. Happy angling. Meteorologist Rich Von Olin, News 12 Long Island.
Check out News 12 for the latest marine weather before heading out. If you're looking for a quality fishing boat that won't break the bank, check out Sea Pro Boats. For less than $400 a month, get you into all the family fun and action. Visit Cale's Marine Boating Center for a test ride today. Now let's check out the first report of the year from Montauk with Captain Tom Michalowski.
Today's Tuesday. I just did my first trip out on a boat for the season. We concentrated the south side of Montauk for fluke with strip baits on the bottom and bucktails, and we caught around 25 shorts and 3 keepers between 5 and 8 pounds. That was only with 3 anglers fishing, so it looks like it's getting ready to bust open. I know Sunday they did very well on the fluke, but today was a little tougher. I did notice a lot of birds off the point on the way in. We stopped and jigged up a couple of small stripers south of the elbow area. And a lot of marks. It looks like that's going to turn on pretty good too. So basically, it's a late spring fishing in Montauk. It's only going to get better, and get out there and fish.
Let's hear from Mike Dean.
Thanks, Tim. Fishing here remains pretty steady in between Shinnecock and Moriches. At night, there's some nice fish being taken, both bass and blues. A little more blues than bass, which is to be expected. Sunset bite's been pretty good for surface stuff. Both Shinnecock Inlet's a really good spot right now. A lot of guys have been getting some nice sized gators there, and even the super cocktail blues, as we call them. Fluke fishing, not a lot of keepers, but definitely a lot of action. It's worth hitting the reefs for those. And porgy fishing remains red hot, and mostly in the Peconic is a little bit better than out in the ocean. Though guys are still getting some nice fish out there, filling their coolers. This Friday, Manhattan Cup. Last chance to get in. Contact me on Facebook, Instagram, manhattantomontauk.com, manhattancup.com to get your spot. We can accommodate solo anglers, teams up to 4. We have the best captains and boats in the area. These are guys that are hard to book, so you don't want to miss the opportunity to get out fishing with them. And this is benefiting combat veterans that did an awful lot for all of us. So hope to see you guys Friday. Thanks, Tim. Back to you.
Let's give the fly guys a little respect. Here is Paul McCain.
Hello, Tim. All my captains are calling in and saying how the water's warming up and the bass are starting to move up onto the flats using crab flies. They're doing very well. On cloudy days, they actually are out there fishing sand eels, fishing the structures. On the North Shore, they're just doing crazy fishing. On the South Shore, out east and out of Montauk, it's game on. This is the time to be there. Right now, I'm over at Ford's Pond with the Long Island Fly Rodders had their club day out here, and I was guiding my friend Norman and using this fly. It is just a foam popper. We must have had 25 fish, all really nice crappie, bluegills, pickerel, and a couple of bass. It was a terrific day. So get out there now. This weather can't hold up forever, and it's going to be the heat of the summer. Tie lines, everybody.
Another fly update from David Yeagerman.
Thank you, Tim. Hey guys, I'm out here on the far east end of Long Island. We are fly fishing with Captain David Blinken. It's Mitch Gross and myself from the Salty Fly Rodders, and we're having a really good day out here. We probably raised about a dozen fish. We caught about 6. As you can hear, the wind is honking, but we are making adjustments and we're having a really good time out here. We did see some other bait. We saw some nice stripers. Get out here. There are fish in the back bays. Tight lines, guys.
The mosquitoes and the no-see-ums are here, and soon to follow will be the green flies. If you're looking for an all-natural solution to protect you from these pests, try Captain Ron's, made from pure plant oils, so it smells great too. Available at your local tackle shops. Fire Island has been red hot with the bass on the bunker schools. Check out this 60-pounder caught by Michael Musacchio. Matty Mern and his dad Brian posed with a 37-pounder caught also on Sunday. The Suffolk Marine Anglers Tournament was another success, with 62 boats competing this year, raising money for Hospice Care Network. Keith Ruggieriello had the winning fish with a 49.15-pound striped bass. In the Bluefish category, Team Steiger landed a 12.3-pound yellow-eyed demon. Fishing with Team Regulator this year was Greg Giannotti of WFAN.
We caught a 36-pounder right off the bat, and I reeled it in. Hopefully, it'll be right up here on this leaderboard. We're out there, we're having fun, but we're doing it for the best reasons. The Hospice Care Network and the benefits that this tournament and the great people involved can provide. That's what we're really here for. So on the way back in, we were thinking about the charity with big smiles on our faces.
Now let's check in with Brendan Ritigliano.
Thanks, Tim. Just want to let you guys know there's a bunch of bunker pods out there. Striped bass, bluefish, both hitting hard on there. Trolling is doing great for striped bass. Here we got a picture of Arthur with a 42.7-pounder. And we have Sean and Tommy actually went out, a couple of friends of mine. 38-pounder and a 37-pounder. Tommy was a little camera shy, so he's not pictured. But great fishing right now. Those are just some of the bass that we've weighed in the last couple of days. We also have Jeremy with a 10.4-pound blue, and there's plenty of blues around. Even on the pier, we're still getting them. So get out there and have some fun with them. On another note, there's large fluke on the boats. Some of the capture boats are catching like 5-6-pounders easy. There's not too many fish out there, but when they are catching them, they're getting big. So we'll see you next week, guys.
Of course, Joey Leggio had to get into the action and go east.
Hey Tim, what's going on? I'm going to give a report out of Deb's Inlet and hopefully do it in under a minute, but I do have a lot to report. So here we go. Here we go. On Saturday, I had Mike and his crew out on their 28-foot Grady. The boys had a limit of bass to 36 pounds, plus it was another 30-pounder in the mix. On Saturday, I took out Rob. We hit the bridge. He wanted to do a little inshore fishing. Rob had 21 bass. The biggest one was only 27 3/4 inches on the Atlantic Beach Bridge. On Tuesday, I went to the bridge again. I took a father out with 2 children. A little bit slower. The kids only had 7 bass and a couple small bluefish, and that was it on that trip. Wednesday, I took out Alan on his beautiful 31-foot Tiara. I'm sorry, 36-foot Tiara. He wanted to catch bass. We headed out of Jones Inlet this time. Found the bunkers, trolled around them. Was rewarded with a bass of 44.5 pounds. Then we had one more hit after that, slowed down, jumped on the bunker schools, and he was rewarded with a bass of 45 pounds. That's basically my report, what's going on with me. Check out my webpage. Just look up Joey Leggio, Fishing Long Island, and also Chasing Tail TV. Thank you so much, Tim. Talk to you soon.
Aaron D'Aversa worked Jones Beach for what he described as non-stop action with chopper blues. Let's see how the action is way west with Staten Island's Mike Sentry.
Thanks, Tim. Hey, Fisherman. Mike Sentry here. Well, guys, went offshore yesterday for my first time in 2019 season. Had a great time. A lot of albies being caught about 8 of them. The biggest one was around 19.25 pounds. Caught on a Hoagie spread bar, 40-inch, chartreuse color. They would not hit the black spread bars for some reason. Wouldn't even touch it. Everything else was on light green, chartreuse, and pink rainbow. So those were the producing colors for offshore yesterday. I hit the mud hole, the monster ledge, and the tip of the Chicken Canyon. Although some guys did catch some nice bluefin tuna on the reservoir wreck. With that said, guys, always be careful out there. Watch the whales. Look for birds if you want to be successful. Your trolling speed has to be optimum. I was trolling around 6 to 7 miles per hour. That's all you really need. And always wear your life preservers, guys. Have fun, bring plenty of fuel, and you're good to go.
Raul Ortiz has it dialed in. Check out this 34-inch bass caught from the shore of Staten Island. He tells me he knows exactly at what time in the tide they bite, and he has the pictures to prove it. If you're in the market for a cooler that holds ice for days, is reasonably priced, and is made in the USA, check out Orca Coolers at Marine Mate in Lindenhurst. Now it's time for Hawaiian Dan.
Going ninja style this week for the Fisherman magazine, where I had a chance to fish both the central North Shore and South Shore regions on my Sea Eagle Fish Up 126. And I must say there are some similarities. The night bite and the first light seem to be pretty hot for me. If you're on the North Shore targeting the lights through 1/4 ounce bucktails or the Tsunami 4-inch holographic black-back split-tail swim shads, we'll definitely stock up on schoolie stripers, I'd say in the 10 to 26-inch class. On the South Shore, the trick is to be out there and in place before first light. Make sure that you mask up and bring plenty of insect repellent because those CMs are definitely out there and they are biting. Now, the schoolie stripers are feeding on grass shrimp this time of year, so stealth mode and matching the hatch with a small topwater profile is key. Cocktail blues can still be found on the South Shore. For me, fishing chicken scratch SP minnows and pearl white bombers did the trick. Now, there's plenty of reasons to get out there and have some fun, so grab those rods, get off those couches, and get out there and fish. And until next week, this is Hawaiian Dan of TalkFishTV.com signing out. Now back to you, Tim. Aloha.
Kenny Cannon has this report.
Thanks, Tim. The fishing in the Northport, Ashroken, and Eaton's Neck area has really picked up over the past week or so. The porgy fishing has been absolutely insane. We had our kids out there the other day, and they each caught their first porgy. You can see some of the pictures up there. And as well as the bass fishing, too. I mean, the bass fishing has been really, really good. Again, I'm like I've been saying, I've been seeing them way back inside the harbors, as deep as you can go back. I haven't really found them out in the bays or in the sound at all yet. And fluke fishing has been extremely tough for me and anyone that I talk to. I mean, I haven't really heard many positive things about the fluke just yet. Picking them up here and there, but not really that consistent. Freshwater fishing's getting started again, so that's kind of cool. The bass are hitting the Senkos, the bass are hitting the brush hogs, the bass are hitting pretty much anything you get deep inside the cover, all at the local lakes and ponds wherever you go. So that's pretty much it for the Northport, Ashroken, Eaton's Neck area. As far as this weekend goes, I'm going to be focusing on the porgies still. I'm going to be searching for some fluke and the bass inside the harbors late at night. Back to you, Tim.
On the offshore scene, the bluefin bite has broken wide open. Bobby Highland was spooled while fishing the bunker schools on Tuesday morning out of Fire Island. Also, many fish in the deeper water, like Nikki Fish Girl's bluefin, catch here. Matt Fitz sent us this shot of his bluefin he caught in 120 feet of water south of Fire Island on a surface plug. Had to be one hell of a fight. Bergen Bay Docks in West Babylon sent me these catches. Will Henry caught this 84-inch bluefin south of the Fire Island Inlet. This thresher tipped a scale at 200 pounds, also south of Fire Island. The bite is on. Now let's check in with senior editor, Fred Golofaro.
Yeah, Tim, I know we've covered this topic many times. I know I can't remember how many articles I've written about it, but we really need to pay better attention to how we're releasing fish. In this case, I'm talking about striped bass. The bunker run is on, and I mean, there's been double-digit catches. There's a big concentration of fish down on Fire Island again this spring. There's bunker all over the place, and you know, just speaking to Mike from Saltwaters in West Islip, he was out yesterday morning. He had 9 fish up into the mid-40s. He released every one of them, but as he pointed out, most of the fish took him at least 15 minutes to revive before he felt comfortable letting them go. And what's going on with most of the other boats is guys that catching these fish, bringing them into the boat, taking time to unhook them, taking photos, weighing them, and then simply dropping them back in the water. Guys, those fish have very little chance of survival if that's all you're doing. You got to get them either back in the water so you can revive them, and it does take time, especially those big fish, because of the lactic acid buildup. And you know, if you have too high a gunnel where you can't actually get down and revive these fish, the best case scenario is not to even take them out of the water. There are long-handled hook disgorgers that you can reach from your cockpit, slide it down, and get the hook out and let the fish go. When you first get him next to the boat, try to keep his head in, if there's any current or if there's a drift, try to keep his head into the flow of water so you can revive him that way a bit. But once you take him out of the water, start taking photos and weighing them. It's really tough to get those fish back safely. So let's be a little more conscientious. I mean, and there's a lot of fish being caught right now. In fact, if you're looking for that dream bass, now's as good a time as any. I would also encourage you. There's still a lot of people using the snag hooks. Switch over, have another rod ready with a circle hook, a large circle hook, and that'll also make releasing them a lot easier with that single hook in the jaw. Head on to some surf stuff, and I'm going to tie it right into Mike's experience yesterday fishing off Ocean Beach, literally fishing on the beach. He said the bass have been right in the wash. They got bunker pushed up on the beach. Ocean Beach is not an easy place to get to. You're probably talking about a ferry ride, but depending on how bad you want to catch a big bass, it might be worth the effort. And it's not just Ocean Beach. Those fish will be spread in other areas. Right now, that happens to be the hot spot, that area in and around Ocean Beach on Fire Island. But those fish are going to pop up in other areas. From the beach, obviously, it's a lot more difficult to switch over from a snag hook to a circle hook. Unfortunately, if the fish are off the beach at all, you can't really cast a bunker out far enough in most cases to get back to where the fish are feeding. So if you do hook one, don't let them run a long time. When he takes the bunker, set the hook, hopefully you hook him in the mouth, and hopefully the surf is calm enough so you can release him. Remember, you can only keep one fish, so play it by ear that way. There was some good fish in other places. Like last week, there's a lot of bluefish still. They're in the inlets. I had really good reports from Rich's Inlet, Shinnecock Inlet on bluefish. There's some bass being picked at night on bucktails and shads, fish up into the 20s. Haven't heard of many big fish, but that's obviously going to change with all these big fish coming down the beach now. Montauk, excellent fishing on the south side, daytime bucktails. A lot of the best fishing since the weekend has been at night all along the south side on needlefish. Occasional teen fish, but again, most of these are those smaller fish, including mostly shorts. And a lot of bluefish in Montauk also. They're all over the point, the north side on most days. Until next week, Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.
Upcoming events. This Friday is the Manhattan Cup at a Liberty Landing Great Tournament. June 8th is the Point Lookout Shark Tournament. And also June 8th, Suffolk Marine is having their regulator demo day. Get out on a regulator. Check it out. From Southwest Florida, where I hope to jump a tarpon over the weekend, this is Tim C. Smith for thefisherman.com. Win the incredible Steigercraft Evinrude Lowrance Grand Prize Boat Package and more in the Fisherman's 2019 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details now at thefisherman.com.